Alright, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Chakwadash. Double honors unto our apostles and elders of Great Millstone that rule well. And much peace and blessings to all you sincere Akim out there that's pushing this 100% truth with all sincerity, faith, and with charity. This is your brother Ash from the Great Millstone Miami camp, coming back with another lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh Basham Yahushua. The Lord willing, this lesson is edifying unto the elect of the nation of Israel. It's just going to be some words on, just some general advice to brothers in the faith, especially, the younger Akim. We can't be so quick to shun people that aren't a part of this walk, that are a part of this thing of ours. Okay? Can't be afraid to talk to people in general. Okay? And I say that because over, my time in this truth, it hasn't really been too long. It hasn't really been that long, especially with how fast good morning the years have been going. These past years, man, these past 10 years went by pretty quick. And just looking back over my life, my new life, so to speak, right? We evolve. You have to evolve. You have to grow in this thing of ours. If you're not growing, then you're not really alive. If you're not really making positive changes, then you're not really growing, especially not negative changes. Because if you making negative changes, consistent negative changes, then you're actually dying. It's worse than staying stagnant. You're deteriorating, right? But one thing I've noticed over the years, a pattern. I've noticed certain brothers, be a little quick to shun people in the sense of, this person is not in the truth, so they're totally insignificant. Now, of course, the scriptures say that the multitude were born in vain. Okay? The scriptures speak about not talking much with a fool, right? But the Lord can use anybody to drop some wisdom on you. Okay, we have to remember that this is really a simulation that we're in. Okay, this whole life thing, this is a program. This is the Lord's program. This is the Lord's movie. So, knowing what we know, that there's really no free will. Okay, free will is an illusion. And everyone really is controlled by the Lord, by Yahweh, by Hasham Yahweh Shai, right, through the angels. Just like you playing a video game and the majority of the characters in the game are what's known as NPCs, right? But even in different games, you come across certain characters, which we're all characters. Everybody is a character in this simulation, in this movie, so to speak, in this play, in this act. And like a game, you have the main character, the actual playable character, but they encounter NPCs. And for the most part, like let's say a Grand Theft Auto. A Grand Theft Auto is a great example. You may run into an NPC and they may say something that you can actually use in the game. They may drop a hint, they may drop a clue to help you move or advance in the game, help you beat the current mission that you're in. Okay? So again, the Lord can tap into anyone's spirit and make them say something to you so that you can glean information, so that you can glean wisdom. And it may just be something that you really need to hear. Okay? Of course we take advice. Of course we hear them that are within. All right, talking about the brotherhood, those that actually know the truth. But we have to be willing. That's the point. That's the key. You have to be willing at times to hear people out. Okay? The Lord can make a homeless guy on the street, an insignificant person, just come up to you and tell you exactly what you need to hear at that moment. Because, again, you ain't always going to be around brothers. Right? Sometimes you just on your own out here in this world, in your day-to-day. And you may be dealing with a certain issue in your mind. Right? And the Lord can have somebody come up and say, tell you a good word, you know? It can literally be anybody, especially if that person is a Jake. But even a heathen. Okay? Because again, everybody's being controlled by the angels. So the Lord can tap on anyone's spirit via the angels and heighten their frequency for the time being to tell you, to send you a message. Because that's what the angels, that's what the word angel means, right? I believe in the Hebrew malaakia, if I'm not mistaken. And it means messenger. So the Lord can send anyone to deliver a message to you. And of course, you know, it's all spiritual. You have to try the spirits, of course. If you're willing, if you're actually willing, if you're not closed-minded and egotistical, as the scriptures say, knowledge puffeth up. So when you first come into truth and you gain so much knowledge seemingly overnight, it's very easy to become egotistical in a sense where you think that you know everything and nobody else knows nothing. But when you're humble, when you're meek, as the scriptures say, mysteries are revealed unto the meek. And perfect example, the scriptures name Moses as the meekest man on earth at his time. And the Lord called him to be a leader, a judge, a ruler, a power, a God among our people, the Israelites. Right? And after, we know the story, the Exodus story, after coming out of Egypt, various great plagues and miracles the Lord wrought by the hand of Moses and Aaron. Right? Of course. Can't forget him. You had Moses' father-in-law, Jethro, who was a heathen. And he gave Moses some very critical and needed advice on dealing with administration and governance among our people. Now, Jethro was a high priest amongst the Midianites. So he was trained in governance and authority, right? And again, we know the story. Moses, what? He had basically every matter coming to him amongst the Israelites, whether it be big matters, small matters, and he would judge between our people all day, every day, and it was wearing on him, and Jethro could see that, and Jethro said, no, you're doing it all wrong. You're supposed to set up leaders beneath you, lower level leaders beneath you, so that they can deal with the smaller matters and you only deal with the bigger matters. That's sound wisdom. Okay, and again, Moses was this high level spiritual leader, but at that time, Israel was just becoming a real nation, just becoming sovereign. Okay? Moses had no real experience, of course, outside of living up under Pharaoh. He had no real experience on governing the nation of Israel. Actually being a king, he was the real first king of Israel, in a sense. And what did Moses do? Did Moses say, nah, I ain't listening to you? You a heathen? No. He obeyed. He obeyed Jethro's words. He obeyed Jethro's sound counsel, and it flourished, and it helped them. Right? What did Jethro tell him? Jethro said, if you keep going on like this, you gonna waste away and your people gonna waste away. So that was very critical what Moses needed to hear. And was that not set up through the Spirit? Did not Yahweh touch Jethro's spirit to make him deliver that message? Of course it was. So that's a prime example. So again, in these times, the Lord can use anyone to tell you something that you need to hear. The scriptures say, Yahweh Shah himself said what? The children of this world in their generations are wiser than the children of light. So, especially a lot of us brothers come into faith young. You don't really know anything, you know. You don't really have true experience of many worldly matters. You may have spiritual knowledge and understanding far greater than this world can ever conceive, but a lot of basic, worldly, carnal things you have no experience in. Okay? So the Lord can use people that are in places of authority in this world, people that may have military experience, people that may have business experience, people that may could have lived a life even in the streets, okay? And they have street smarts and they can pass something on to you, but it's up to you as a spiritual man to be able to extrapolate, to eat the meat, spit out the bones. But if you are in the mindset of, oh, this man can't tell me nothing, this person, my father can't tell me nothing because he ain't in the truth, my mother can't tell me nothing because she ain't in the truth, my boss can't tell me. No, you can't move like that. Especially knowing that the Lord is grooming us to actually be those governing authorities within the greatest nation on earth. We speak about the multitudes coming in. We speak about people coming from all walks of life. We speak about millions of Israelites waking up. We all know there's gonna come a time in the near future where this truth is gonna explode. Literally, it's gonna go off the rails. The Lord's gonna blow this thing off the hinges when Esau starts coming down, when his horns is really shown, when it's proven that these other religions and schools of thought really have no basis. They don't really have no grounds. What's that in 2nd Esdras, the 5th chapter? It says what? The land shall be barren of faith. People are going to be looking for answers. There's many scriptures on this. Then shall they know a prophet was among them. Ezekiel 33. We're gonna need to know how to deal. We're gonna need to know how to actually talk to people. Actually hear people out. Actually judge matters. Actually judge people to see if they're worthy of receiving this truth. Actually judging what kind of spirit people are in. So the Lord is giving us an opportunity right now to practice that. Okay, even when it comes down to the camp and people coming up to the camp. Of course, at camp, you better be willing to deal with people, because that's what we out there for. Again, it's all about what spirit people are coming in, but you got to be able to judge what spirit are people coming in. But if your mind is closed off to that idea or that thought, it's not gonna happen. And you never know who you may be shunning. Somebody may not be a part of this thing as of right now, but they could still be of the elect. Right? They just have not been activated as of yet. And even more so, the scriptures say this. This is Hebrews, the 13th chapter. And the second verse, it says what? Be not forgetful to entertain strangers, for thereby some have entertained angels unawares. So somebody can come up and talk to you, and they can even be an angel that has changed their form to that like unto a human being, and they may have the appearance of a human being, but really they're an angel. That's all throughout the scriptures. You can see that in the book of Tobit, right? Even Yahushua had the power of transfiguration. He could change his appearance and look like other people. He did that after he rose from the dead, and he was testing certain of his disciples. So the Lord can do the same thing to us, testing us. The Lord is constantly testing us. The Lord can send somebody your way as a test to see if you're going to listen to them. The Lord can send an angel your way to see if you're going to listen to them. So we got to tone down the pride. I'm talking to myself first, of course. We have to tone down the ego, because you never know who you're dealing with. You know, it can even be somebody that can help you in your life. Somebody that you can make or establish a connection with that can help you to make more money, help you gain more experience in a different aspect of life that you can use to add to your spiritual resume to be a better leader for the nation of Israel. We endure all things for the elect's sake. This thing is bigger than us. Okay? So that's just something I wanted to remind brothers of, to speak on. And I hope it was edifying. I'm going to leave it there. With that, I'm going to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. And to the next one, Shalom.